ready?
Yeah, we're on, man. Crack Facts, welcome back, kids. Still in quarantine. Hoping that we're going to be in the same room pretty soon here. Once they lift the restrictions for us to be out of the house. I mean, I'm not going to any restaurant or anything anytime soon, but I'll sit in the room with these three fine gentlemen and record some entertainment for you.
Perfect segue. I thought about this the other day, man. We've had a couple episodes where we thanked the listeners and the friends and family for the support. I want to thank you guys, man. This bullshit quarantine, this pandemic, I've looked very much forward to this every week, to sharing sports views and laughs with you gentlemen.
Real talk.
Real talk.
Thank you.
Real talk.
Even though some of them are misguided.
Wow, here it is.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Yo, you might as well put it right at the bottom, the Jordan Show. I can feel it coming already.
Now, did
yeah.
you get it? Everybody's caught up on it?
Yeah.
He didn't even watch a minute of it.
You
I'm
didn't
not
watch
watching
any
a minute of it.
Come
No.
on, man. Why don't you watch any of it? It's
not even
riveting television.
It's not even a documentary.
He said it's told from Jordan's point of view.
It's told from Jordan's point of view.
Okay.
He has final say on what's in the documentary, so you only get to see what Jordan wants to show you. How is that a documentary?
Well, they filled 10 episodes of
You
Michael
probably don't want to do that.
dominating. Gets up there, reliving the 80s with Bobby Brown. They filled 10 episodes and probably could have filled more with Jordan dominating. So it's not like he had to go and pick and choose moments
Is
of
it
his
10?
career.
I thought it was only 6.
No, it's 10. We got 2 more weeks.
Oh,
homie.
damn, there's 2 more weeks?
There's 2 more weeks, yo. So the fact you're talking about it's not a documentary is
It's not. He picks and chooses the light that you want to see him in.
But everybody does that. It's not just him.
yeah,
But
Everyone's
that's not called.
any
That's
documentary
not.
has that.
That's
kind
not
of,
true. That's not true.
Yeah, of
So
course.
you want Mike?
Any
you want
documentary
Mike
you
Myers
see-
to do a documentary on Jordan? Is that what you want? The
Really?
Fahrenheit
Making a
411
murderer.
guy?
Making a murderer. Did he have final say on what was shown?
He was too stupid to know if he had final say or not.
That's
Hello
not how
there.
documentaries.
There you go.
That's not how
guys.
That's not how documentaries work.
That guy was so dumb they could have asked him. The nephew. They asked him, "Did you do it?" And he goes, "I killed her." They're too dumb to know. So that was a bad example. So you're 0 for 2 right now because number one,
It's not.
fantastic documentary, and number 2, Brandon Dassey, too stupid to get final say on that.
I told you,
But
stop
it-
calling
but
it.
it's
Stop
been
calling it a
fantastic.
documentary.
Even the LeBron lovers, the Bron sexuals, as Reek likes to call them, even
Yes.
they've come around. My nephew, who fought me for years that LeBron was better than Jordan, he can do this, he's 6'9", blah blah blah.
LeBron is better.
He come around, he goes, "All right, I've watched it. You're right." This guy, the number one thing, anytime anyone said that this guy was close to you, or when they told Jordan, hey, Drexler's kind of close. Or Barkley's kind of close.
Cooked him.
He made it his entire life to destroy that person. If LeBron,
That's the best part. That's the best part of the whole entire documentary when Magic goes, "Yeah, me and Jordan were playing cards the night before the Blazers series, and everybody was saying Drexler was getting close, that it could be a toss up between him and Drexler for the MVP." He said Jordan leaned in and said, "You know what I'm about to do to this dude tomorrow?"
Yep.
And dropped 7 threes on him.
That's this game, the shrug game, when he when he was swiping the threes in the first quarter and he was shrugging like, I don't even know what's going on right now. Dude was in a straight assassin, more so than Kyle Orton, a straight up assassin.
No one will get that joke.
Yeah, let me offer some perspective though. Let me offer some perspective real quick because I'm a millennial. I was born in 1991, so that episode where he dominated, I was 1 year old, so I only saw it in replay. And what millennials like myself should take from watching that is the distance between LeBron and Jordan. Some people think LeBron's better. There's some people might have thought Jordan was better. But from seeing this, the gap is widened. I think Jordan's way better. Looking at the game.
He's a better all-around player.
Just looking at
all-around player. Michael Jordan was only a scorer.
I disagree with that. I disagree with
really?
that. But
could he pass? No.
No, because
did he rebound?
His
Kenny
team
would be
didn't, but his team didn't ask him to rebound and pass as much
They,
as they asked
they,
LeBron.
they
His
played
team
in an
needed him to
offense
score.
that the ball moved around. It would be
Mhm.
2 passes a lot of times out of
Yeah.
his hand before a shot went up. So just
Michael Jordan could not win the playoffs until he got a supporting cast. LeBron has
and
taken
when did LeBron
trash.
win?
LeBron has taken trash to the finals.
And got whacked.
Yeah, but who did he? But who
It
did he
doesn't
go
matter.
through?
He still got there.
And he
Who
played
did he
in a
go
really weak East.
Who did he go through to
It
get to
doesn't
the
matter.
finals?
He
Of course it
still
does.
got to the
Excellent.
finals.
Excellent point there, Enrique.
fuck is
Excellent.
doing?
Who did,
But Rick,
who
so
did he,
but watching these games, like watching the clips, and I actually watched the entire 1994 Eastern Conference Finals. The floor is so shrunk, and all you got are mid-range shots. LeBron is statistically one of the worst mid-range shooters of all time. He will not survive playing in 90s basketball.
Dropping stats on you.
He would be an average player.
Are you kidding me? He was physically bigger than everybody else.
Yeah, but you can run. Anthony Mason can
What?
still run his ass over.
No way. He's bigger than Anthony Mason. He would destroy Anthony
He
Mason.
ain't bigger than Rodman.
Rodman,
They're the same size. They're the
he's
same.
heavier than Rodman.
he's bigger than Rodman, but Rodman not soft. LeBron
Built like
soft.
cable wires. He's built like
LeBron is not soft.
Listen, man, if LeBron went
Very
down the
soft.
lane and Rick Mahorn
Soft.
put a forearm in his chest, and then he came down the next time and Bill Laimbeer put an elbow in his chest, and then he came
quits.
down the next time and Rodman knocks him down, he's pulling up after that. He's not going to
You're-
continue going.
Yeah,
Crazy.
that's when
You are-
that's when the hamstrings was hurt.
You are
The
crazy.
cramps will start. The heat cramps will start coming in.
The heat cramps.
The heat
No pun
cramps.
intended. No pun intended. You say you're insane.
Soft,
you're
dog.
You're
Soft.
absolutely insane. That
Really?
I
it's
think
the
it's no
one.
contest.
It's
He's
the
bigger.
one athlete
bigger.
that everyone agrees is the goat of his.
You know
particular
why?
Sport.
Rodman
Nike
6'10".
campaign. Nike campaign. They told you that he was the greatest of all time. He couldn't beat the greats until they all got old, until he got a supporting cast. You think that with Varejao he could have made it to the finals? No. No way in
And you
hell.
think
He
go ahead,
beat-
Getz.
He beat the Pistons the year after they won the title. How can
when
you
he
say
got
he only
Pippen,
beat them
when
when
he
they got
got
old?
Pippen, when he got Pippen, when he got Rodman.
Pippen was on the team the year before, man.
Great.
It was on the
that
other team the year
bullshit-
before.
Great.
That bullshit Colin Coward
Greats.
viewpoint of like, oh, he wasn't good till Pippen got there.
They
What
had
did Pippen
and
do when
Horace
Jordan
throughout
left?
the year before.
He lost in the first round of the playoffs. LeBron has
What
never
did
done that.
Pippen do when
LeBron
Jordan
has
left? When
never
Jordan was
done
playing
that.
baseball, what did Pippen do?
Never done that.
What
He
did
still
Pippen
went,
do?
went for 22 a game still?
If
He had
Did he
Kukoc,
win anything?
Pippen, Kukoc.
They had a fucking
Kukoc,
all-star team.
come on.
if you're pulling
You telling me
names,
Kukoc was garbage?
if you're
Kukoc
pulling
was not
names out,
garbage.
if you're pulling
He's-
names
Chris
out,
Bosh is
he
better than him.
also played against
Really?
Patrick
So-
Ewing, Charles Barkley. He played against Larry
Thank you.
Bird.
When they were
played
all
against-
old.
Absolutely not, dude.
They
In
were
fact,
beating his ass when they were young.
absolutely not. In fact,
Patrick Ewing?
and Michael Jordan are the same age. They just came out in different years because Patrick stayed all 4 years and Jordan came out after 3. They're the same age. Charles Barkley is a year younger than Michael Jordan. Karl
First of all,
Malone is 2 years younger than him.
I'm not talking about the Knicks because the Knicks won nothing. They never will
The
win
Knicks
anything.
won nothing because of him.
Shots fired.
The Knicks
What I'm
won
saying
nothing
is
because of Michael
Bird-
Jordan. If Michael Jordan was
Bird-
never born, Patrick Ewing is 3-4 rings.
The two best players in the league, Bird and Magic, had to get old to where they could barely walk before Jordan could win.
Hold on, Sage. I want to ask you this though. From the time he started in Cleveland till the end of the Heat dynasty, who was the second best player in the Eastern Conference that entire time?
Will
The second best player?
In the Eastern Conference during
we can
LeBron's
rattle
title
off
run.
5-6 guys who are Hall of
'Cause
Famers that
I'll
were in
tell
the
you,
league when Jordan was there.
The second best player in the East was LeBron's teammate when he finally won. But
Dwayne
who-
Wade.
Who was the second best player in the East in those 10 years that he dominated the Eastern Conference?
Let's start throwing out
Liz,
some names here. Joe
How about
Johnson.
this? How about this?
It's probably Derrick Rose, to be honest with you.
Probably,
but Derrick
yeah.
Rose got hurt.
When he was in the finals, name his best player that he played with. Are you going
Who?
to say Varejao?
Well, first off,
Dwayne Wade, motherfucker.
If-
Shit.
No,
Are you
I'm
looking
talking about
about?
the first one. Talking about
I'm
the first
you
one.
wanna
talking about
pull-
the
you're pulling
shit
out-
teams
oh,
that
the
he took to
you-
Cleveland.
you talking about the one that got swept
Yeah, when they got swept by Spurs. Yeah.
horribly against the Spurs?
Blown out.
Blown out. You want to you
So
trying to
you're
throw out
telling me
stats? You know
Jordan,
something that never happened to Jordan?
would have won with that team?
I'm telling you,
You're
wouldn't have
telling
gotten,
me
he
Jordan
wouldn't
Taking
have
him to the
gotten
finals.
swept.
We're taking him to
He
the finals,
might
yeah.
have
He
lost
wouldn't
in
have
the
gotten
first
swept.
round. Might have
He
lost
wouldn't
in
have
the
gotten
first
swept.
round like he usually
To who?
does.
To who? Who was he going to lose to in the first round that year? Who
You
was
guys are-
the Detroit Pistons were already way past their prime that year. They had won their title. They beat the Lakers. That team was breaking up. Who was the biggest threat in the East in 2005? Was it 5 when he went to the finals?
Yeah.
Was
that
it?
was
It was
that
that- it was that
Indiana
bullshit.
or
It was
the
that
old
bullshit
team.
Pistons team with
Yeah.
Rip
But they were
Hamilton
already
and shit.
old.
It was a Pistons
They won the
team,
year before.
and it was Miami, but Miami got blown up because Shaq, got sent away, and
So that
Gary
was
Payton
06 then. That
retired
was
and all
06
that.
then.
Know what I'm saying?
Listen.
But those are the teams that were competing around that time.
All this arguing means nothing. At one point in his life, Sage told me that Reggie Lewis was better than Michael Jordan.
I did.
That if Reggie Lewis took as many shots, he would have been better than Michael Jordan.
Bro,
and
you
that was
breathe
such
them-
wait. That was such a blasphemous statement that the Lord came and took Reggie Lewis.
Yo, real talk.
He's dead.
R.I.P. Reggie Lewis, friend of the program.
Listen, you
That's
guys pick and
insane.
choose. You guys pick and choose what you think is a legitimate championship or a
We're giving you
legitimate
facts.
playoff run. That's not facts.
Well, there's
My
six of
facts
them
are
there,
who is
so
the best player LeBron played with when he was in Cleveland on that run.
Larry
You still
Hughes.
haven't answered my question. Michael
What
Jordan
run?
could not take the when he went to the finals with
Wasn't
Varejao.
probably Antoine J. If you really are saying, I think
Hughes.
it's maybe Antoine Jamison, maybe.
Or
Was he on the team?
Ilgauskas.
Larry Hughes.
Larry
Ilgauskas was
Hughes.
an all.
Exactly.
Zadrunas.
Ilgauskas
Booby
was an
Gibson.
all-star.
Booby
Yeah.
Gibson.
Booby
Exactly.
Gibson balled
What-
that year.
Wasn't
Exactly.
Antoine Jamison on that
Out of
team?
his- yo, slap it.
Booby Gibson would hang it like this for you.
You guys are crazy. Totally.
I don't know, man.
The fact
Larry-
you're still
if Larry
holding on
Bird-
to this, LeBron is better. Is
And if
ridiculous.
Larry Bird calls
You
someone
guys-
God on the basketball court, I'm gonna listen to Larry Bird because he knows a little
Yeah.
bit about basketball.
Larry
Are
Bird
you-
knows more
you
than
can listen to
you.
Larry Bird.
He
So
knows
why
a
don't
little
you
bit about
ask Larry
basketball.
Bird? Ask Larry Bird who's better, Jordan or LeBron.
He'll definitely.
He always
say
says
Jordan.
Definitely
Jordan.
say Jordan. He
All
says
of
it
them,
always
already.
says Jordan.
even LeBron says Jordan. You
Of course, he
and
has
people that
to.
are 22
He has
and
to.
younger.
He
No, but
has to
Jordan-
because if
Jordan
LeBron says that,
Jordan says
if LeBron
Jordan.
said he was better, he would get murdered on social media.
I mean, he does
LeBron-
have the chosen
LeBron-
one tattooed across
LeBron-
his shoulder.
Yeah.
If LeBron farts the wrong way, he gets murdered on social media. Michael Jordan could do whatever the fuck he wants. He could murder a fucking cat in front of people, and nobody would care.
How do you
Yeah.
know how
Oh,
LeBron
now, yeah.
farts? This is getting weird.
Yeah. And when did Michael Jordan start murdering cats?
But no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if he did,
Yeah,
he would
and-
get away with it.
And you can't compare because social media now compared to when he was a player,
Of
Like,
course.
if he was playing now, it'd be the same thing because of social media. Everybody's got phones. It'd be the same thing.
he was
the
playing
reason
now,
that
he'd
we
have been
know-
out of the league 5 years ago.
Oh my god!
5
The
years
league right
earlier.
now is tailor made for him. You said that you just said that you couldn't foul him back then. Imagine now where you
He'd
can't
score
foul
40
anyone.
points a game.
Bro,
Yeah, you can't foul at all now.
He'd
He'd
take
score
more
40
foul
points a
shots
game.
than James Harden. He would
There's
get fouled
no
more
hand
than
checking.
James Harden.
You breathe on Michael Jordan. It was a foul. He pushed
you-
people off of him to get the shot. Every one of the greatest shots, all the greatest shots that Michael Jordan ever had, just watch it. He pushes the other player down.
All right, so check this. You're trying to talk about referees being, preferential towards Michael Jordan. It was 2012, the year after. To 2011, the Heat lost to the Mavericks in the finals.
That's the JJ Barea, Puerto Rico. Let's go.
I didn't need to mention that. I just like saying that the Heat lost to the Mavs in 2011.
Me too.
In 2012, there was a 6-game stretch that LeBron James played over 40 minutes a game and didn't have a single foul called on him. 6 games in a row, and the people
Facts.
people on the radio and all the well, he moves his feet on defense. Come on, you playing 40 minutes, 6 games in a row, you're not gonna have one foul call on you.
Dude, you could probably say the same thing about Michael Jordan.
Well, back then you.
Well,
could
that's why it negates it then. If you could say the
throw
same
elbows
thing, that
in
the
there.
argument that everybody can just breathe on Jordan and get fouled is irrelevant because it's the same for LeBron.
Never
No, it's
swept
not.
in a
No way,
playoff
nowhere near close. Nowhere near close.
Jordan
Oh,
never
yeah.
swept in a playoff series. LeBron has
And
more.
when
than
was
once.
LeBron last called for a travel? How about that one
And
too?
Joel, you should know this.
Takes
The
7
best,
steps every time.
the 17
Carries
shots
the ball.
Charles Smith took under the basket when Jordan hacked him like 5 times.
They had that on the
He
show.
did not call it. He didn't call it.
No, they didn't call that foul. And
No.
also, Charles
The-
Smith,
not. It wasn't
Charles
just one
Smith.
foul.
There was no
Since-
foul.
since-
He
since
just
you brought-
missed.
since you brought
He
it up,
just
he
missed.
really didn't get fouled. That's number one. Number two, the first shot, the layup, he just kind of tapped it up. The second one that he pump faked on, if he goes up strong after the pump fake, it's 2 hands. The man's 6'10".
Just
Two
dunk it.
hands. Just throw it down, dude, and that's when you'll get the foul call. They're not going to give you a foul call in the playoffs with these little fingertip layups trying to go up there. Grab the ball. He got it. You pump faked it. You got your feet underneath you now. Power up to the rim and throw it down. We would have won. We would have beaten Portland or
He would have been a
whoever
Knicks
that year.
legend forever.
Absolutely. Never would have been able to pay for a steak in New York ever again. Now he can't walk the streets without security. Bitch ass Charles Smith. I hate Charles Smith. I fucking hate Charles Smith. Yo, if that was Xavier McDaniel that got that rebound, who was on the team the year before, and they didn't, he went for extra money. I can't remember where he signed off to after the X-Man. If that was him that got that rebound, he would have tried to throw it down. And
I think he went to Phoenix.
I thought it was Seattle.
No, Seattle was before.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
Seattle
right.
was before. Yeah, was before. No,
But back to the original point though, with the spacing how it is in today's NBA, I don't know how anybody could say Michael will be worst. The NBA today is created for athletes that like playing in the open floor, which is what he did better than anybody back then.
The fact that you think that LeBron wouldn't be LeBron in the 80s and the 90s is ridiculous. He's a fucking physical human being.
He's a baby. He's a crybaby.
Yeah, but he looks like Tarzan and plays like Jane. It doesn't matter what he looks like. It's what he plays.
He flops around on the floor when anybody touches him. He cries to the refs all day.
That's just a millennial influence. That's just a millennial influence
in that NBA.
And you don't think Jordan would do the same today?
No.
That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense.
Yes, it does.
It's the one prevailing.
It's the culture. It's the culture that basketball is taken from soccer. They all flop now. It's the culture that basketball is adopted from soccer.
No
yes,
way. The one kind of theme through all of these here, and I know you haven't watched it yet, and I know you won't watch it because you'll have to change your mind. But the reason that one of the things that's going through all the episodes is the dude's wired different. He's not
the competitiveness.
It's not just a physical ability thing, because J.R. Smith is the same kind of pure athlete that Michael Jordan is. He's nowhere close to the basketball player. Just run, speed, jump, similar size. Fantastic athlete, but that extra wiring that made him want to actually kill people on the court. LeBron doesn't have it, which is why he passed the ball off. In final moments.
Frozen.
He does not pass it off in final moments.
J.J. Barea
he always takes that
in
shot.
2011. Locked him up by a 5'4"
Sage didn't watch basketball back then. That's why he don't know.
But to LeBron's credit, he's better at it now in his 15th season in the league. It took him so long to figure it out with, in my opinion, minimal competition in the East. He dominated the East because you can't name the second best player in the East that entire time, because even now, 90% of the talent in the NBA is out west. He hasn't going in against anybody.
He beat the Warriors with an inferior team.
No, because the NBA gave him a stimulus package.
He beat the Warriors because Draymond Green punched him in the dick and got suspended.
So how's that his
games.
fault?
I'm just saying, if all even last year,
you guys make excuses for LeBron's
Toronto,
wins,
and
you make excuses for Jordan's losses.
The two championships.
He doesn't have any losses.
Jordan didn't lose. He doesn't have any in the finals.
He lost in the first round of the playoffs.
He never lost in the finals.
He never lost in the finals.
That's you're picking and choosing what you want to talk about. You don't want to talk about his playoff losses. He lost playoff series.
He played
He's lost
seasons
4
in a row
playoff series that LeBron has.
And won all six. So
that makes him the greatest?
But it's crazy.
Yeah, that does make him great. He won 6 titles.
What about Bill Russell? What about Will Chamberlain?
Well,
you guys pick and choose what you want. Nike tells you guys that he's the greatest, so you believe it because you grew up saying, like Mike, if I could be like Mike when you were 4 years old, you thought that. They told you Jordan. That's what to believe, so they can sell shoes.
Jordan play.
The only reason,
I've never seen Bill Russell. You're older than me. How was Bill Russell when he was in the league?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying you're choosing stats that you want to choose.
I can tell you though that I call this Jamaican.
Are championships more important?
Reggie Lewis told me that Jordan was better.
Championships are more important. Yes.
Okay, so then the one with the most should be the best.
All right. So that means that LeBron's way down the list then.
Yeah. Then LeBron doesn't even belong in the top 5 if that's
okay. So then if you want to say Bill Russell's better than LeBron, then I'm okay
way
with
down
that.
the list. So you got.
Oh, so your beef is specifically with Mike. You accept other players are better.
All right. Well,
Listen. He hated LeBron. I mean, he hated Jordan all the way back then to the point where he said Reggie Lewis was better. The only reason he likes LeBron is because he's been waiting all this time for someone to say he was better than Jordan. Not because LeBron is actually better. You don't even think LeBron's better. You don't even watch the fucking game.
Yes, I do. I've watched LeBron play. I always watch LeBron play when I can.
Kobe loved Jordan more than anybody else.
Listen.
Yeah, he ain't even Kobe.
Nobody in their life.
Kobe was closer to Jordan than
you are
LeBron
crazy. I don't care if he was closer to Jordan. He ain't better than LeBron. You guys are smoking crack.
Kobe?
And another
Kobe Bryant.
If I'm starting the team right now, I take Kobe over LeBron.
That's just because you're a hater. That's just because you don't like LeBron.
R.I.P. to Kobe.
You made a song about LeBron, about how much you hate LeBron.
That's
I do
right.
hate
I'm gonna
LeBron.
find it too.
I do hate
I'm
So
gonna
LeBron.
find it.
anything
As
that
a
you
Knicks
say
fan,
is biased as
I got
hell.
the hat on right here. He pulled the biggest bitch move of all time. Right? If you're gonna come to Miami, do the shit. Go to they got Miami
Why?
Boys and Girls
That's-
Club down in Miami. No, he went to Connecticut. Right? He's in Connecticut where it's Knicks Central in that area. All those places where Allen Houston, all the other players and all that live in that area of Connecticut that he goes to say that he's going to Miami. Fuck
That's
that
your
guy,
issue.
dude.
That's your issue when
No, dude,
Jordan
it's a bitch
when Jordan
move, dude.
has done nothing but 50
know-
times worse than that.
You do know that
Like,
the Knicks
in his
offered
whole
Michael
life.
Jordan a blank check in 1992, and he wouldn't leave Chicago. They come play with Patrick, and he said, "No, I'm here in Chicago." So he didn't run because
What
he
the
couldn't
hell
win.
does that have to do with anything? When your
Because
franchise
LeBron
does not
ran
do
to
anything to
Miami
help
Because
you win.
LeBron had
championship.
because LeBron had to
ran
go
to
join
Miami.
a bunch of other people to
Yeah,
win.
to
LeBron
an
had to-
organization that was run well.
LeBron
He
LeBron
needed
went to
help.
somebody else that he could pass the ball off to. And the reason that
crazy.
LeBron has the 3 rings that he has right now, Kyrie Irving hit a big shot and won.
You're right. So Paxson
Chris
never hit
Bosh
any big shots.
Hit a big
Paxson
shot
never
and
hit any
won.
big shots. Steve Kerr never hit any big shots.
But he
You
got
guys
but
are
six
you
of
smoking
them.
crack.
But
He
you
got
said
6
Jordan
of
can't
them.
pass. You said
6
Jordan
of them.
can't pass.
And
I
you
didn't
did
say
say
how do we
Jordan
know?
can't
passed him,
pass.
so
Jordan
how do
ate
we
both
know
of
who
those
Paxson
passes.
I didn't say Jordan passed him the ball. I'm just saying
Jordan
they
Jordan
hit
did
big
pass
shots.
the ball.
Yeah,
Both
Steve Kerr's
times.
big shot. Jordan did pass him
Yeah,
the
I know.
ball.
And
Steve
in
Kerr-
fact,
I know.
Jordan has
But
3
that
or 4
wasn't like-
assists down the
but that-
stretch against
But
Phoenix
that
to
wasn't like
Paxson.
it was Jordan at the top of the key. Paxson's wide open on the side. Here, pass. It was like a
Because that's
jet
the
pass.
offense they ran.
It
was a
wasn't
triangle.
like
Yeah,
a.
again,
It wasn't like
if
a.
you
then
watch the show, there's actually a section in it when they talk about that play, and Phil asks him, he goes, "What's the defense doing? Who's open?" And he goes, "Paxson." And Phil goes, "Well, get the ball to Paxson." And they swung the ball around. That was by design.
because
They didn't go out there like
I did
They
see that
run
part.
the most rigid offense in the history of the NBA. The triangle, you have to run it a
Phil-
certain way.
Phil had to beat it over his head to pass the ball to his other teammates. He dropped 63 on the Celtics and they lost. You know why? Because he's a ball hog.
And
All
then
he
the
does is
second
shoot.
that they figured,
Half of his points would be on free throws, some phantom fouls.
Aren't there? There's like
Big
4
shot.
Hall of Famers on that team.
Hold on. Any big shot that he missed was a foul. So that's why you guys think he always was so clutch at the end. But he's not. Every single shot that he took that he missed was a foul automatically.
as much of a ball
back and
hog
watch it.
as he is, and he did average 30 points a game in the NBA, which is the highest per game average in NBA history. He also did average 5 assists a game. So it's not like he
5
wasn't.
assists. Whoa, for a
5
guard?
assists for a 2
Whoa.
guard is not bad.
Whoa.
5
How
assists
much
for
is
a 2 guard.
all right, how many assists is LeBron for a
Probably
what do you call him? A small forward, power forward?
Probably
Yeah,
about
but I
30.
want LeBron passing.
Guard.
LeBron's a terrible shooter. I want him passing. the ball.
He's
LeBron
not a
also-
terrible shooter. He's gotten better.
But LeBron plays.
But he was a terrible shooter for the first 10 years of his career.
He's still a terrible shooter. LeBron plays what Pippen does. Pippen brought the ball up for the Bulls, not Jordan. So Pippen's assist numbers are a little higher than Jordan because he's the one who's actually playing point guard. LeBron has to play point because that points to his skills. He can't shoot.
LeBron
can't
could
play
play
him off
all
the ball.
5. LeBron could play all 5 positions on the basketball court. Michael Jordan cannot.
Well, so you're holding him back because he's 6'6" instead of 6'9"?
I'm just saying he could be your point guard. He could be your shooting guard, your small forward, your center, your power forward. Like LeBron can do anything you need him to do.
So
Magic
Magic
hold
can
on
do
one
that
second.
too.
Gets, hold on
Magic
one
could. Magic's
But
one of
hold
the
on one
greatest
second.
players. I
If
personally think
you're
Magic
saying
Johnson is
that,
better than Michael Jordan.
if you're saying that, you're talking about somebody could play the 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. That's your criteria for being better than Jordan. Then Lamar
It's
Odom's
called
better than Michael Jordan. 'Cause he can play all 5
Versatility and
positions.
his stats compare to Michael Jordan. He's a better passer. The only thing he's not maybe is better shooter, but it's like A and B.
You're talking about
He
you're
could.
bringing
His
up
post game is
historical
better.
stuff.
His post game is better than Jordan's.
I disagree with that.
Are you insane?
What? No,
Jordan
no
had the
100%
dream
disagree with
shake better than Hakeem Olajuwon did. Jordan had that fadeaway from either side that was deadly. It was part of the things that was built into the triangle. It would go to the top of the key, out to the wing, down to Jordan on the baseline. He would do the little dream shake action, fade away, and hit a jump shot.
And turn the spin around.
He hit
Yeah,
that
and then
over
if he-
John Starks 1,000 times.
And then if he missed it, it was a foul.
You don't get fouls called on fadeaways. Not even.
Oh
Jordan.
yeah, you do. Jordan did. Jordan was the only one.
Not
definitely.
even Jordan. You need to watch the documentary about and now you can actually sit and binge it all the way through because it's
Listen, if it was
got it
told
He never
from
will.
an
He never
outside
will.
perspective, if somebody had no It's basically like I tell you, Nike told you guys Jordan was great.
But you
This
haven't
guy's
even
we never
seen
watched
it.
the
You
games.
can't
We never watched the
say what it
games.
is.
He was
you
a
haven't
great
seen it. You
player.
have no
I'm
idea.
was a
old
great
as shit.
player.
I watched
He-
all those games.
So did
Nike didn't
I.
tell me shit.
He was a great player. I'm not saying Michael Jordan wasn't great. I'm saying he's not the GOAT. You guys act like this is Jesus Christ reincarnated who walked on this earth
Okay.
and can do no wrong.
He said that.
Out
too.
like 1, 2, 3,
Called
4,
himself
5.
God.
Where does Michael Jordan rank?
All right, I think Magic's better than him.
So
And
then
LeBron.
what? Jordan's
And
3.
LeBron. Jordan's 3.
That's ridiculous.
Why?
It's just ridiculous. Because Magic himself would tell you. that
It doesn't
there's
matter
no-
what they say. They have to be
there's no
PC.
comparison between that.
The
And-
only asshole that wouldn't give anybody else credit would be Michael Jordan.
And
He
the
doesn't
thing that
probably-
you're trying to say that they were so old this, they were so old that. When Jordan completely dominated Magic in the finals, Magic was 31.
31, exactly. Not
31's
22.
prime.
31 is not old.
31 is prime.
It is not
And
prime.
Jordan is only 3 years younger than Magic. So I mean, that's ridiculous. Actually, no,
3
it's
years
5
makes a
years.
big difference.
It's 5 years.
5 years makes a big difference.
But he was 31. Well, you know who's 31? Julio Jones about to be 31, and I'd take him over any wide receiver in the NFL right now. So 31
That's just
is
dumb.
not.
You would take him over any receiver in the NFL right
I
now?
would take Julio Jones over any
Really?
receiver in the NFL.
Who would you take, Sage?
right
Who
at
would you
this
take?
second?
You guys forget about DeAndre Hopkins?
CD Lamb?
CeeDee Lamb. Hey, CeeDee Lamb.
You would
Des
take
Bryant. You take
Wait,
Des Bryant?
what's the over under on CeeDee Lamb not playing next year because he hit his girlfriend? Like,
Oh,
what's
CeeDee
the
Lamb's
odds on
definitely
that?
getting suspended at some point.
No, he just snatched the phone. He didn't hit her.
He's going to.
Yo,
It's only a matter of time.
She probably got replaced already. I'm sure there's somebody new in there right now. Like,
Somebody
He's got
slid
a
into
white
the
girl now
DMs?
for sure. He's
Yo.
definitely got a white girl now for sure.
As soon as they put that camera that ESPN sent them back in the box, he turned to her and goes, "Yeah, you can go ahead and leave now."
There's going to be a Earl Thomas situation.
Yo, we're gonna talk. Yo, it's nice segue there, Sage.
Next
We're-
topic.
We're gonna pay some bills here. We'll be back in just a moment on Crackbacks. We got to talk about this Earl Thomas situation. That may be one of the greatest stories in American history.
You can't even
Try Glazer.
you can't even make this up.
No, it's fantastic. Crackbacks.
Who the hell's having orgy?
Eat more Scrapple at the Scrapple Shack. Coming soon. All right, Crackbacks back in the building here. Before we went to the break, Earl Thomas came up. Earl Thomas, safety for the Baltimore Ravens. He was a Super Bowl champion with the Seattle Seahawks. Got married a couple of years ago with a big, extravagant wedding. It was millions and millions of dollars. People came in on horses and all kinds of shit like that. So anyway, a few weeks
I heard he wore a crown like a king.
a few weeks ago.
Maybe he likes Crown Royal.
Well, I'm sure he does. He got in an argument with the wife and disappeared, and she went on his Snapchat to find out where he was and tracked him down through his Snapchat, finds him in bed with numerous women and his brother.
Gross.
What? Yo, exactly.
little bit of incest, attempted murder.
Has his
Great
Glock
story.
in her hand, and took the clip out, but didn't know there was one in the chamber, and literally had it up to Earl Thomas's head, and was like, what the fuck you're doing? What the fuck you're doing? Said that she was trying to scare him, didn't know that there was a bullet in the chamber. He wrestles it away from her. Now, before she went over to the house, she called her
Earl Thomas is
sister-in-law.
tough.
No, real talk. He called his sister-in-law, so the brother who's in the bed with Earl and all the chicks, and they got a ride or die chick that came with him. So she's chasing Earl around a car with a knife. He has a gun. She thinks there's no bullet in it, so she's trying to chase him down. The ride or die chick also has a knife, and the wife, it's my favorite line of all time, and I'm pulling it up here to make sure I don't mess it up. She's waving the gun around at the mistress and yelling at her, "I got something for all you hoes."
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
Fantastic. It's the best story ever. So, when we heard when
I'm down for that chick. Whoever that ride or die chick is, I'm here for you. I'm with you.
Hilarious. So when they first came out, they said, "Oh, Earl Thomas was in a dispute with his wife." Everybody across the entire planet was pretty sure it was Ray Rice all over again. That he probably took the screws to her, knocked her out or whatever, and somebody got it on video.
I can't have you disrespecting Ray Rice because Earl Thomas is out getting his dick wet. Ray Rice is the greatest Rutgers Scarlet Knight of all time. Leave him out of this.
He also is the owner of a top 5 knockout ever caught on video. That chick went to sleep immediately.
Sleepies.
World
Went to
star.
sleep immediately. But
Bring him on Crackback's Combat.
Earl Thomas, his life was in danger. Earl Thomas could have died because they clearly see that her finger was on the trigger. Somebody has video of it, just hasn't been released yet. We need video of this immediately.
Hell yeah. Post it right here.
It is absolutely hilarious. It's my favorite story. I haven't heard a story that made me this happy in a long time. I mean, it would have been a lot worse if Earl Thomas was dead, but he's not dead, so we can laugh at him.
Well, supposedly the Ravens are trying to cut him, so let's go. Philadelphia Eagles, we need the safety.
Gets always what high principal forgets for his players on the team.
Yes.
No, Earl Thomas,
I bleed green, Earl.
Nothing's gonna happen to him though. I mean, if they cut him, they cut him, but he didn't break any laws. I mean, cheating is morally wrong, but not against the law.
Yo, why the hell would you Snapchat cheating on your wife that day?
I just find it interesting.
No, I thought she tracked them through the Snapchat app.
She tracked him to the Snapchat.
She did, but she also saw that he was cheating.
Exactly. He had Snapchat videos with the.
What an idiot!
With the
I didn't know that part. What an idiot.
I'm not saying that I use Snapchat, but I've heard Snapchat. You can see the person's location on your own Snapchat.
And who the hell wants that on video? You and your brother boning girls in the same bed?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Well, I think you and your brother have done it. So
no, never.
Oh, we got to ask Mike.
Mike's
been on the show. We're
I can
gonna have
name
to
some
find
names
out.
right now.
I
can name some names right now.
I have never seen my brother naked.
I'm gonna err on the side of caution. I'm gonna conceal names and protect people.
No, you're not.
All right,
but
that's a really gross topic. So we're gonna go ahead and move on from that. Now,
I'm not saying they were in there. I'm not saying they were in the room at the same time. I'm saying they slayed the same bitch.
Those are two completely different things.
Exactly.
Apparently, Earl Thomas and his brother were in the same bed. What you described was Eskimo brothers. So, it's a little different.
So how did this whole thing happen? Like, why did he just bounce to Texas? Was there like an argument?
Yeah,
Did he catch her with a dude or something? What's the origin story?
No, it was an argument because apparently he's like a raging alcoholic, and she was starting to get upset about it and wanted him to go get some help. And he came in blasted again, and she went off and started yelling at him. He dipped out the house. His brother picked him up, and then
he went and got some help.
A familial orgy.
And I know it's a good idea. Let me call 4 hoes and my brother and let's bag in the same.
We don't know if it was just 4.
That always helps, dude. Calling the hookers always helps. You got to clear your mind. You got to call the hookies.
They did the same thing on Ballers.
Yo, do they charge extra because of the coronavirus epidemic?
Yo, you got to pay hazard pay. So
Probably.
Yeah, they would get extra.
Hard. He can afford it though, but times are hard.
Like an extra $500 because of the coronavirus.
Probably.
Saints knows the rates.
If you,
oh,
I'm just thinking, it's coronavirus out here, man. These chicks, they got to get paid,
right?
Times are hard. In fact, Mike Tyson, talk about getting paid here. Somebody's trying to pull Mike Tyson out of retirement. He's 53 years old, and they're trying to get him to join a bare knuckle boxing league. Thoughts?
All right, listen. First of all, this bare knuckle league, these guys are bums. These are the dudes that can't make. These are the dudes that can't make it in the UFC, can't make it in regular boxing. So they go to this bare knuckle thing. This is like the last level. These are like prison fights in the basement.
Is it ESPN the Ocho?
Kimbo Slice.
Yeah,
so 100%.
So
Bum
if
fight.
Mike Tyson actually does this, Mike Tyson's going to kill somebody on
Yeah.
camera.
I agree. The
I agree.
last person you want hitting you with no gloves is Mike Tyson.
Is it actual bare knuckle, or do they have
Yeah, it's
like
just
5-ounce gloves? It's just fists.
It's just fists.
They
and
had
then
one.
sometimes they tape. Yeah, they do raps.
They had one
tape.
on ESPN a few years ago, but they had it was real small gloves they were fine, but it wasn't actual bare knuckle. They have bare knuckle at the Hard Rock, the Seminole Hard Rock. They have bare knuckle boxing.
Yeah, that's when them dudes were badass back in the 1900s.
What in the 1900s?
Get them Irish dudes that would fight 35 rounds bare knuckled.
Back when you used to go see Jack Johnson.
Back when I used to go see Jack Johnson.
Supposedly they already have one set up. supposedly they already have one set up between him and Shannon Briggs, who Mike Tyson would have killed back then. So now Mike Tyson's going to destroy this dude.
And did you see this? I don't know if it's actually – there's also a thing, too, that what's the guy, the boxer who just won recently, the big dude, what's his name? Fury. His dad, Fury's dad, for charity, also offered to fight Mike Tyson. Like,
please.
That old man would die in the ring.
You might as well just sign up to get killed.
Yo,
Yeah,
you better,
yeah, I agree.
put aside the money to get your jaw rewired.
Yo,
Yeah.
I'd rather someone.
I saw
run me
Mike
over
Tyson
in
like a week
Honda
ago.
than take a punch from Tyson.
Yeah, he's jacked now. Mike Tyson
I
cuts
saw,
him.
yeah, I saw Mike Tyson like a week ago hitting pads with Rashad Evans from UFC. And, dude, he was blowing this dude back. Blowing him back, dude. Body shots, cracking the mitts. Mike Tyson is ready.
The perfect fighting machine. He's the great white shark of humans.
And why not pick up a quick 20 mil? Kidding me?
Well, a couple of things it's that, and there's like some Japanese businessmen that also wanted to fly him out just to have him. He's basically just knocking out dudes. Like Mayweather did that a couple of years ago, where you fought like some kickboxer guy.
Yeah, it was like
a Sultan's house or something like that. I mean, easy money.
That guy was a joke, though.
I'll tell you what. See, Mike Tyson and Herschel Walker.
You still got Jordan on the mind because you know he was wrong.
Shit.
I get Sage going on another category here. Oscar De La Hoya is trying to fight Conor McGregor.
Well, I'd love to see that.
Would you? Why? He'll just beat Conor McGregor. It's just a money grab.
Oh my God!
But, all right.
In Puerto Rico, we call him Chicken De La Hoya. That's what we call him. That's what we call him, Oscar.
How old is De La Hoya?
Because he's a bitch. That's why.
There was a huge rivalry when I was younger. There was a huge, when I was younger, it was a huge. De La
Hoya's fought everybody.
Tito Trinidad and him had a huge rivalry when I was younger.
De La Hoya is 47. He just turned 47. Mm-hmm. So, how old is McGregor?
Like 31, maybe.
That's a big gap, dude. And McGregor's been competitively fighting. De La Hoya hasn't. I mean, what's the last time De La Hoya's taken a punch, like a real punch? Not,
Well, he dresses up like a chick and wears fishnet stockings.
Yeah, but that's a whip.
Maybe he lets dudes beat him around the room.
You probably get stepped on in heels and stuff like that. But
he's a professional boxer.
14 hours ago.
And he dresses like a woman.
Who hasn't fought in 20 years.
14 hours ago, ESPN reported that De La Hoya said he'd knock him out in 2 rounds.
Yeah, and you know what McGregor said? I accept your challenge.
I fucking want to see you try it. That was a very horrible accent.
Step
I
up.
can't do Irish.
That's because he would, because he would make like $20 million in that fight. Because UFC don't pay their fighters, and the guy makes fucking peanuts compared to what he could if he was a boxer.
McGregor's not hurting for money, man.
No, he's not. No. Obviously, because of the Mayweather fight.
Right.
And
he also makes $40 million a year on the whiskey.
Yeah, and he's got endorsements, and when he'll get paid for appearances and for speeches and all of that. You're scaring away people, get.
If they got into the cage, if they went into an MMA cage, De La Hoya would be done in like 40 seconds.
But he won't sign. He won't sign.
If they actually box, I think
box.
McGregor might still win.
They're gonna box.
No way.
None of those boxers will ever step into the octagon. The only one that tried got. You want to talk about old and dumb?
James Toney.
And he was fat, old, slow. James Toney was years past his prime by the time he decided to get into the ring.
40 seconds.
Yeah. No, but he looked like Bushwick Bill by the time he was fighting in the UFC. He had no right in the ring fighting in any discipline. But the bare knuckle, I'd like actually De La Hoya and McGregor should fight bare knuckle. I'd watch that.
De La Hoya get knocked out real quick.
De La Hoya's gonna
no way. You guys underestimate how good De La Hoya was.
It was. There's your answer. Was.
But still.
Because LeBron could beat Michael Jordan in a one-on-one game right now. It'd be close, but Jordan's 60. So your skills start diminishing with age.
Of course, but when you're doing something that McGregor's an okay puncher, but he's not a boxer.
What? A what? Okay.
Like, I'm comparing it to boxing. Like, as a boxer, he's okay.
One of the best knockout artists in UFC history.
Yeah, exactly. You're saying UFC.
Check out McGregor's knockout percentage.
I love McGregor. He's my favorite UFC fighter.
Don't talk on what you don't know. Don't say he's not a
I'm talking
artist.
About as
he
a
knocks
boxer.
Out everybody.
If he, as a boxer, would not be that good.
He ain't knocking him out with his feet, bitch.
Hey, but here's a question. Yeah, that was my question for you. What percentage of his knockouts in the UFC have actually been through like a straight jab or any kind of punch rather than like a kick or something like that? I don't
There's
know.
a
I haven't watched
video.
him.
There's a video on YouTube that breaks down all McGregor's fights and how he actually has a different style for every opponent and how he breaks them down, how he gets in on them, and how he knocks them out.
Yeah, he definitely prepares really well.
You know what? There's a video of De La Hoya dressed as a chick.
What the hell does that have to do with anything? Doesn't mean he would beat McGregor in a boxing match.
I'm saying he's been out of the ring a long time, and sparring's not the same as actually getting punched by somebody who's trying to hurt you. So, he's.
I want to see it though. I'm saying I'll see it.
I'll watch it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'll watch it, and I'm not a De La Hoya fan. I'll root against him, but
Me too.
I'll watch it for sure. But to say that he would be able to handle McGregor easily, or he's the boxing, it's a long time ago, man. Bill Russell's still alive. He can't hoop anymore.
Yeah,
you're talking about somebody that's 90.
You're talking about if Floyd
47
Mayweather
is not that old.
If Floyd Mayweather right now is the best boxer on earth, McGregor went 10 rounds with him. 10
because
rounds.
He let him. Mayweather let him.
And but you're still talking about Mayweather, a guy who was fighting regularly, who was taking punches regularly.
Best boxer on earth.
De La Hoya might have gotten slapped around a little bit recently, but he hasn't been punched in a long time. So he would get handled quickly. I'm sure his cardio is good. Whatever. Even that.
Dude, you don't forget how to fight. I haven't been in a fight in years, but it's not like if I fought somebody out in the street, I would just get pummeled because I haven't done it in 20 years.
But you don't punch as hard as you did 20 years
We'll
ago.
take your comparison to De La Hoya argument over.
Exactly.
But you guys act like he just forgets everything, and I'm pretty sure he's probably in pretty good shape. Like, just because he's
probably in pretty good shape.
Tom, how old is Tom Brady?
How old is Tom Brady? Though, to be honest,
how old is Tom Brady?
42, I think. 41.
Okay, is he a bum? He's still playing at an elite level in the NFL.
I can tell you right now.
Wait. You just said in the last Jordan argument, Magic was 31. He was old when Jordan beat him. And now you're saying
you guys did the same thing about the 5-year difference.
Brady's old, so it doesn't matter that you're old? Come on.
Nowadays is different. It's totally different than it was in the 80s.
But check this out, right? I can tell you right now, without any question, I could knock Tom Brady out. So you pulling up Tom Brady right now for a fight?
I don't believe that at all.
I think Tom Brady would beat your ass.
I think Tom Brady would work you.
I think Tom Brady would beat your ass.
He's got a strong jaw, bro. He got a strong jaw.
No, but listen, it's going to be in the contract. It's going to be in the contract that he can't kiss his son for 3 months before he fights me. That's where he gets all of his energy from. He steals it from young children. So,
by the way, I'm doing a quick Google search here on Oscar De La Hoya. He looks kind of fat. I don't know. And these are all recent pictures from talking about him being in shape. All those tortillas, like you said.
Now Google a recent picture of Conor McGregor, please.
Yeah, no, McGregor's ripped, obviously.
That's not a fair fight.
I don't think it is either. He doesn't look in shape based on these current pictures.
And again,
You know what it is? De La Hoya tried to do his own boxing promotion, and he tried to be the man. And now he knows Dana White is just about to start getting into boxing. So he's going to try and do anything he can to discredit UFC, discredit Dana White. He thinks, I'll go in and beat up McGregor, and I'll show everybody. And Dana White's laughing at him. Dana White said, come get it. Whenever you want to do, we'll set the fight up. Come get it.
ESPN versus DAZN. That's the new East Coast, West Coast beef. Does anybody even still watch DAZN, or did they fold? Are they still open?
The Ginger's on there. What's his name? Canelo.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, just from him alone, that'll be able to keep it alive for a little while. But I watched one Canelo fight on there because they had a free trial, and I ended it the next day.
The only fight I really want to see is Fury and Joshua.
Joshua's gonna get knocked out in that too. That guy has no heart. That guy has absolutely no heart.
He beat the hell out of Vladimir Klitschko.
Yeah, but not to sound like Getz, but Klitschko was old.
You mean me?
I am Getz.
Yeah, you know what I meant.
I know what you meant. I don't know if everybody else did. But
Seich's idiocy is warping my brain.
First of all, it's not idiocy. It's like when Muhammad Ali lost to like Larry Holmes.
He had Parkinson's.
Do you think that like Larry Holmes was actually better than Muhammad Ali? No.
He had Parkinson's.
Gets everybody, of course. I mean, my point exactly.
He was very shaky in that fight right from the start, and Holmes knocked him out. That was a Parkinson's joke right there. He was very shaky.
I appreciated it. I liked it.
That was fun.
He had sprayed 3,000 cans of decon already. His nerves and muscles were frazzled by the time he fought. He shouldn't have fought Larry Holmes, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no shit.
He should have never gotten in the ring with Larry Holmes.
That's why
Mike Tyson beat the hell out of Larry Holmes.
Mike Tyson beat the living shit out of Larry Holmes.
Oh,
Mike Tyson told Muhammad Ali before the fight, "I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna go get him for you."
And he knocked him the hell out. He shouldn't have fought. He shouldn't have fought in that thing at all. So.
And then exactly again, Mike Tyson was like how many years younger than Larry Holmes when he fought him? Larry Holmes was probably like 42.
Holmes was a much bigger guy. They were balanced.
Doesn't matter.
We have a boxing expert that we're going to bring in on one of the shows here. He couldn't make it tonight, but I'll bring on one here and we'll talk about that. We're talking about all-time greats here.
What do you mean he couldn't make it?
Couldn't make it tonight. I'm going to bring up two guys.
Where was he at? He was at Vegas Cabaret? Where was it?
That's closed, bro. That's closed.
It's closed. Unless you know the special, the special entrance.
It's time for the free
buffet. We're talking about Jordan. We're talking about Tyson. Those are all-time greats. Now, Reek texted me a question earlier. I want to see what you guys think about this. These are two guys that suck. But who sucks worse? Who's worse, Mitchell Trubisky or Josh Rosen?
Rosen can't even start in the league. He can't even get a starting job.
Trubisky, they moved up to get Trubisky, and Rosen hasn't gotten a fair shot yet.
I don't think Rosen. I think Trubisky.
The Dolphins were one of the worst teams in the league, and Rosen couldn't even start there.
They had nobody.
Fitzpatrick is there.
Fitzpatrick's not terrible.
Is the man.
And what I will say, though,
they put him in for 2 games and then pulled him right away.
Trubisky was a starter and got to the playoffs.
That's only because he was a second-round pick.
Rosen has never started.
Second overall pick.
That's just because of the defense.
Nasty.
Rosen was the ninth overall pick. I mean, that's not.
They never got a shot.
But here's the big difference, though. The big difference is the first year with Arizona, they already moved on from Rosen, and the GM and his front office in Chicago is tied to Trubisky. They need him to play well so they don't get fired. So there's no way they're doing everything in their possible and everything they possibly.
Is that why they just signed Nick Foles?
They're done now. They
didn't pick up Trubisky's 5th-year option. Yeah. So they're ready to move on from him right now.
And the GM is going to get fired.
Foles is going to start in Chicago this year. Trubisky's career in Chicago is over unless Foles gets hurt again.
And I don't know how much credence there is to this, but I used to live in Chicago. I have a lot of friends that are Chicago Bears fans, and they say there's a reason there's never been a black quarterback in Chicago, which is why they didn't draft Mahomes or Watson and went up to get Trubisky instead.
Mahomes ain't really black though. Mahomes is like a Jeter.
But his father's super black.
Yeah. He's at the end of the day, I'm not saying it's true. I know a lot of people in Chicago who are very close to the Bears, and they've been fans for 20-plus years, and this is their words.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything.
Has there been a black quarterback in Chicago? Is that true? I'm not a
Cordell Stewart. But
they said the same thing about Philly until Randall Cunningham came around, and then McNabb.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't know the situation.
I mean, people fall in love with quarterbacks like they did Trubisky and whatever. Like, look at what Daniel Jones to the Giants. Like, nobody thought about Daniel Jones is actually pretty good. Like, everybody was surprised that they jumped up to get him.
Oh, he's better.
Way better. And so Daniel Jones will be good. Like, so maybe they like what they see. I just don't. Trubisky started for 1 year in college. I wouldn't have picked him up.
Is it?
He's only comeback.
Coach. We all agree that the one sport
the question is who's worse right now.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, one of the things
Rosen is worse. Clearly,
I disagree.
He can't even start.
I disagree.
I think Rosen could do exactly.
If you dropped Rosen on the Bears are better than they are with Trubisky behind center.
I agree.
Like 1% better, but better.
Bro,
I mean,
the Dolphins
not markedly better. Exactly. They're not a whole lot better, but they are better.
The Dolphins were in the midst of a tank. They were trying to tank the season to get the number 1 pick.
No, they weren't. Brian Flores wasn't.
They put Rosen in for like 2-3 games, and the coach was like, "Yo, this dude sucks so bad. Get him out of here." Couldn't even do the tank. They had to put Fitzpatrick back in.
That's because Fitzpatrick is nice.
Yeah,
Fitzpatrick is nice.
Fitzpatrick is not nice. He's always on the worst team in the league. He's not good.
He's not good. Balls. My man
is always on the worst team in the league.
Dude, that in 2016
he's not good.
Jets, but in 2016 he was a Jets starter. He threw for 34 touchdowns. Like and they won
He's
10
not, yeah,
6.
he's not a
There
slouch.
are worse options. There are worse options at quarterback than him.
Yeah, Rosen is worse. He's the worst.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. But I'm just
I'll
saying,
take
Rosen's better than
Fitzpatrick right now.
I'll take Fitzpatrick over both of those guys, 100%.
Listen,
Fitzpatrick over
I'd
both
like
those
to
guys,
see. I'd like to see Rosen get to a stable place so we can see if he actually sucks. So
No, he sucks.
He hasn't had a shot.
when the Patriots pick him up,
He sucks. He does.
when
But
the Patriots pick him up and he's at least as good as Matt Castle, we'll know that. And Matt Castle light years better than Trubisky. That's all I'm saying. He's better than Trubisky. Not saying he's a great quarterback. Now we got a few minutes left here. I got another question for three of you here. We got three big fans, baseball fans here. A Yankee fan, two Yankee fans here, and Getz has the Phillies hat on. Are you waking up at 5:30 in the morning to watch some Korean baseball live?
Hell no.
nope, not at all.
ESPN is
Never.
ESPN's expecting a huge ratings bump. That people are going to be up at 5:30 in the morning to watch Korean League
Really?
baseball.
I bet you a lot of people are betting on that shit, though.
Oh yeah,
100%. Yo, Vegas is alive. The casinos themselves are closed, but the sports books are open. They're taking bets for sure. There's people itching.
100%.
Floyd Mayweather probably put a couple of million down on the Seoul Tigers or whoever the hell the name teams are. 5:30 in the morning, ESPN's going to be playing. Yeah, they'll be playing the Korean League baseball, and then we get Italian League soccer. That's supposed to start up next month.
Oh, yeah?
In the next 2 weeks or so. That's going to be on in the middle of the night, too.
The Bundesliga, too, is going to start up soon.
The players
so
are
is La Liga,
pushing
yeah.
back in Italy. The Germans, apparently, they're ready to go because they've been quarantining the players. They're actually
And
thinking
so is
about
La Liga.
doing that in the NBA and the baseball. We talked about it before. It's kind of taking everybody and holding them almost in their own town. But somebody on the radio in Atlanta had a good point, is that those athletes, there's no way in hell.
All right.
There's no way in hell those athletes aren't flying hoses.
Hey, buddy.
One of them is going to have the Rona.
All right, buddy. All right.
And it's going to
Hey,
matter
I mean,
the entire
basketball is just tough because everybody shares the ball,
Oh,
you're
he's a
sweating on
good
each
baller.
other, and do all that stuff, you know? Baseball may be a little bit
I don't know how
easier.
you play basketball.
Well, you never shared a ball with somebody in basketball?
Gross. You're so gay. Going back to the Jordan documentary, I'm watching it, and they're at the point where Charles Barkley's on the Suns, and they're playing Jordan in the finals, and Barkley's doing everything he could. He's scoring, he's passing, he's rebounds, everything, and they couldn't win the title. And then they show a clip of Barkley back then in an interview saying, it was at that moment I knew that there was someone in the world better than me at basketball. And I say, motherfucker, you been knowing. Who was knocking the Sixers out of the playoffs all those years? Jordan was. Fucking bitch-ass Barkley. Get out of here.
Why do you hate Barkley so much?
He left the Sixers, and he got Jeff Hornacek and Andrew Lang back.
That's right.
Don't forget Maherly or Marley, whatever the fuck his name was.
We didn't get Marley. I would have been happy if we
Dan
got Marley.
Dan Marley got cooked by Jordan in the finals, and
We
they
got
sent to
Hornacek
Miami.
and Andrew
Yeah, and that's the
Lang.
thing. You guys act like Dan Marley was like this greatest lockdown defender. That guy was a scrub.
He was
And
an
just because
all-star.
Jordan lit him up, you're like, oh, Jordan's the greatest ever.
Jordan lit up Clyde Drexler.
Your Jordan hate is sad.
What was Hornacek worse as a player or a coach? What was he worse?
He was much worse as a coach because Hornacek was a specialist as a player. He was
decent as a player.
He could shoot as a player. He could shoot.
Spot
He
up
was the
shooter.
worst coach. He was a terrible coach.
Terrible coach. Jordan also cooked Reggie Miller, Hall of Famer.
Also Craig Elo, right? When he pushed Craig Elo down before he made that shot.
Joel, make sure you cut that just when I said, get out of here.
Yeah.
That'll be my signature move. Get out of here.
He didn't push Craig Elo. If he pushed anybody, he pushed Brian Russell.
He
But
definitely
It was
pushed Craig
Brian
Elo.
Russell.
He
It
definitely
was
pushed Craig
It
Elo.
was Craig Elo and Brian Russell.
Yo,
Both
Craig
of them.
Elo got pushed.
That's like the most famous shot in NBA history.
All right,
I know,
let's come back.
And it was a total foul.
Now, let's keep it running. I don't want to make it too long, so I'll cut this little section out where we're chatting right here, but we still got 10 minutes, so keep going.
Oh, I
Keep
thought you were
going
going to cut. I thought you were going to cut it on the Barkley rant.
No, I can cut it in two pieces, but we're still we got 10 minutes, so let's wrap it up though. 'Cause I don't want
Are there any more topics?
One of the questions I asked earlier: who is the best? Well, who's the best player in the NFL? Not we'll take quarterback side. Who's the best player in the NFL under 25? And Mahomes and Watson turned 25 this year, so under 25, who do you think is the best player in the NFL?
I don't know everybody's age, so
I'd have to look at a list of players. I mean, Calvin Ridley comes to mind.
How old is Tyreek Hill?
I think the easy answer's got to be Lamar Jackson. No? I mean, that would be.
Nah, he's going to watch this year. He's going to fall off this year. I can't wait.
Oh, no. I'm saying football player.
Tyreek-
He's a great football
Tyreek
player. He's
Hill's
not the best
26.
quarterback. I mean, people obviously are going to say there's bias on I am, but I think Darnold's the best quarterback under 25. But I think overall, as a football player, I think
You think Darnold's better than Wentz? I want this on tape.
Wentz is older than 25, though.
How old is he?
He's actually 25, actually, on the dot. Or 26.
Is he?
Looked it up.
Tyreek Hill's 26. So it's a weird number. But, that one
Saquon Barkley probably.
Yeah, Wentz is 27, by the way.
McCaffrey?
we'd have to take a
Yeah,
a look.
McCaffrey. I think McCaffrey's 24. That's honorable mention. McCaffrey, yeah, that's a good one.
Honorable mention.
That's something I would have to take a look at a list of players. I don't know the ages off the top of my head. We'll throw that up on the
Adams.
Instagram page there. Comment with your favorite player under the age of 25. But I wouldn't know off the top
Thank
of
you,
my
sir. Thank you, sir. Try and drink cold beers because it's hot as fuck in this motherfucker.
head. You remember when Gets his buddy in North Carolina?
Yeah,
said
no more
cursing? He's holding on well.
Yo,
there.
man, I can't help it, dude. It's hot as hell. The
wait.
AC been off for like 3 days.
In the Carson Wentz topic, did you guys see the highlights this freshman year? The new kid North Dakota State has, the freshman quarterback who has the same size as Wentz. That dude,
They have him rated at like the 3rd pick next year.
I thought he was 2 years from now. I thought he was a true freshman.
No, I think I saw him on. I saw him as a 3rd
Yeah,
pick
he's a
in the new
redshirt
mock draft.
sophomore.
North Dakota State always redshirts him, so you could come out as a sophomore.
Yeah, he's a redshirt. He's a redshirt sophomore, and it's Lawrence, Fields, and him 1, 2, 3.
Where do they
Really?
find these guys? Where do they find these guys?
There's nowhere else up there to play.
Belichick is gonna get Trevor Lawrence next year.
Oh
Watch.
my God! Please don't say that.
That's why
Belichick would never tank. Belichick would never tank.
He doesn't have to tank.
He doesn't have to tank.
tank.
He's going to start
He's-
Grant Stidham.
he can
and
go
lose
8
naturally.
Yeah, exactly. He can go 8-8. All the people that are gonna suck don't need a quarterback. He's got draft picks stockpiled. This dude's gonna make a move to get Trevor Lawrence. Watch.
I think they're going to go 9-7, the Patriots, and win the division. So
As Enrique always says on the program, the Patriots do not trade up.
yep, they do not.
Oh, they
Trade
will
back-
for this
trade
guy.
back.
They will for this guy.
You're talking about a special talent coming out. If they were going to do
You
it
are.
one time, this would be
Like
the time to do it.
nobody else is going to trade up for Trevor Lawrence. Like they're just going to be like,
Like,
okay, let the
he-
Patriots have him.
It's just-
Well, he's
No,
got
but-
all
but
the,
you
he's
just-
got all the draft picks.
But
He's got all the draft
Belichick.
picks.
The Dolphins got like 15 draft picks next year too.
But you're not going to draft Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, they just
Why
did
not?
two.
What if 2
They
was
just did
hot
two.
garbage? They could still draft
Nope.
him.
I mean,
No,
that's a
they won't
solid
know.
point.
The Cardinals
That
did
is
it.
very, very possible that two.
The Cardinals did it. The
Yes.
Cardinals did it year after year. Why couldn't they? That's smart.
They
If
won't.
anything, if 2 was
Listen.
hot garbage, you have to move on.
All right, so
Absolutely, I
let's say,
agree.
let's say the
Absolutely.
Patriots are 8-8 and they draft maybe 12 or whatever. Name me the teams that are going to be garbage next year.
But
I
a
don't think
team
they're
that
gonna go
needs a quarterback would still trade up.
Not if they don't have the capital that the Patriots do.
But here's the
Belichick,
thing, right?
Belichick is too
There's-
good. They're not going to go 8-8.
They won't go 8-8, but there's 3 guys next year, and he gets any one of those 3, they're fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He doesn't
Justin
necessarily
Fields is
have-
nasty.
He doesn't necessarily have to have the best guy, and I think he just needs a competent NFL quarterback.
Oh,
And
he'll
one
get
of
him.
those, one of those 3 guys. Now, if he ends up with Trevor Lawrence, it's a completely different story. But he's Trevor
So,
Lawrence.
why do you
Trevor
think
Lawrence
he
is going to
didn't-
end up in Jacksonville? That's the
Why do you
I
think
think-
he didn't sign?
I think Belichick's ego is such that he's going to try and win with Stidham and be like, Tom Brady don't mean shit.
Well, it's because he's gonna like they already did it this past year. They won a lot of games on defense and special teams because even though Tom Brady was okay, the offense was not very good. Obviously, they didn't score a lot of points, regardless of who's under center. They didn't score a lot. They won on defense and special teams, and they have a young defense.
And they ran the ball a lot.
And they ran the ball a lot. Sony Michel's still there. What's the other guy's name? I can't remember. I've
James
seen it for
White.
too long.
James White,
The Patriots, because right now the 3 hardest schedules in the NFL
Atlanta.
are well, according to record last year, specifically. Now, according to record last year, specifically, it's the AFC East has the toughest schedule because they had the easiest one last year. Just it moves that way, right? So they're going to have a tougher schedule. So the winner of the AFC is going to go 9-7. They're not going. It's not going to be a 10-win team in that division.
have you guys noticed we can't even see Joel anymore?
I dimmed the screen a little bit because the battery was starting to run low. on the once I bring it back up in post, it'll be fine on there. Yeah, but
solid rain.
I didn't want
Buffalo's going to win the East.
Battery to die on me. Here.
I don't know, man. They're the betting favorite. I agree that they should win.
I have no faith in Josh.
But
Allen.
I have yet to see Buffalo be consistent.
Jarrett Stidham.
They can easily go 10-6 to 6-10 the next year.
Zero faith in Josh Allen.
Me too.
None.
He's not a consistent enough thrower.
He's basically like Cam Newton.
No.
Yeah, he's a white Cam Newton.
He's
exactly
the same thing as Cam Newton.
You
guys all love Cam Newton
right now with a bump
not
shoulder.
me. Not me. I don't love Cam Newton, but he has a bump shoulder. But either way, he's gonna have to run the ball a lot. So Diggs will still be pissed off in Buffalo, like he was pissed off in Minnesota. So I don't see the fit there for Diggs at all.
Buffalo got better.
The thing is though, but Diggs is light years ahead of anything else they had.
Oh, for sure, 100%. But
Absolutely.
But if Allen's not going to use him correctly, why does it matter?
So if Josh Allen was running around for his life last year, it might be because none of the receivers were open.
He's not an accurate thrower, is what I'm saying.
He's just not an accurate thrower. He's a running quarterback.
And he plays.
Neither is Lamar Jackson, and he won the MVP.
And he plays.
Yeah, but like you said, they'll figure him out. Like you said, the NFL
they will.
And then got shut down in the playoffs. So
exactly.
I've seen wide receivers. Remember that quarterback challenge? Wide receivers hit more targets than Lamar Jackson did.
What he's talking about is there was like a Pro Bowl quarterback challenge.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about.
And they had an event where the quarterbacks had to throw at. They had like these things spinning like pinwheels.
Mm-hmm.
They had these things on golf carts back in the background. And Lamar Jackson was trying to hit these things and missing them by like 5-6 yards.
He got a 0.
Who was the quarterback that they brought? Who was the wide receiver that they brought out there? They brought out some wide receiver that played quarterback in college, and he was hitting shit left and right, and they were all laughing at Lamar Jackson.
He's not accurate. Yeah, he's definitely not an accurate quarterback at all. But he's the same way. He's a running quarterback. If Josh Allen's throwing the ball 25 times a game, the Bills are going to be a very bad team.
This is the Jets' chance, right? You got Tua.
I wish.
Kind of halfway broken. Josh Allen, nobody has any faith in, and we don't know who's going to play quarterback in New England. The Jets need to do something now.
I agree that this is the time where Darnold needs to be the best quarterback in the division.
The Jets have to do something now.
Can we talk about Andy Dalton in Dallas, please?
All right, we got 3 minutes, all right, because we went super long today. But we got 3 minutes. Let's go ahead and knock out some Andy Dalton talk before we go.
Go.
Best backup quarterback in football.
Right now, he's your starter.
Right now, yeah. I mean, right now.
He isn't the starter. They're just going to franchise Dak. And if he was, he's got a potent ass offense, man.
So he's better than Nicky Six, you're saying? He's a better backup quarterback than Nicky Six?
I don't know why everybody trashes Andy Dalton. I've always liked Andy Dalton, man.
He's good. Andy Dalton because he hasn't won a playoff game.
But that's because it's Cincinnati. You guys don't realize he is in Cincinnati.
But he also had AJ Green. He's had Joe Mixon. He's had weapons.
The 2 weapons is what you just named.
No,
his defense sucks.
He had Hoosh Mazzilli.
He's okay.
They've had players in Cincinnati.
If Andy Dalton would have been on New England, he would have already won Super Bowls.
He had Ocho Cinco, Hoosh Manzada, and Chris Henry. And he couldn't win a playoff game.
And their offense was good. They would have won that playoff game. He got hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback.
That was Carson Palmer. Carson Palmer blew his knee out on a nice throw, by the way.
No, I'm not talking about the knee. I think he didn't. Was it last year that he hurt his shoulder? Or one of the years he hurt his shoulder.
No,
I mean they had some decent teams in Cincinnati that just couldn't win in the playoffs. But
I mean they're all right.
He's an okay quarterback.
Cincinnati's fucked up. Yeah,
he's going to be starting for you in Dallas next year because Dak's going to hold out. Watch.
No, he's not. Dak would be dumb if he hold out.
That's why they signed Andy Dalton because Dak can't hold out now.
Sage, what's the Cowboys' record this year?
They'll win 10 games.
10 games?
Yeah.
Have you seen the schedule already?
Yeah, it's actually a tough schedule.
So you guys
preseason schedule means nothing.
You get to play the Reds.
Not true,
twice.
but it's also like we're playing San Francisco, Minnesota. Like we got some tough schedules.
I know you guys get to play the Giants. You guys get to play the Giants and the Skins twice each. That's good.
Amen. Thank God.
That's not even fair. All right, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up here. Like I said, we went a little bit long this week. It's nice to have the old man in the building. Cracks Crew will be back next week. Check us out on Instagram. You got Reeky Leaky. You got that Digital Wookie. I'm at Mr. Big Pedro. We'll have to help Sage set up an Instagram page or something for him. I don't think his AARP card came with one. So we'll help him out on that side over there. But anyway, next week Wow.
He got
so
MySpace.
check out the UFC this
I have
weekend.
none of
and we
that.
got we
You
got
guys
the
act
Crackback
like I don't know
Combat
how to set
segment.
that up. I just don't want it.
It's because you don't know how to use it. It's cool though. It's all right, man.
That's bullshit.
That's all right. Oh,
Social media.
it's okay, Boomer. We'll see you next time.